This project was really interesting because it coincided with a rebranding effort. The challenge was really to appeal to two very different demographics. One was the kind of core group that has always been avid followers of the Wild Turkey brand, and then another was to appeal to kind of the younger demographic that was interested in kind of the, small batch, crafted, distilled products. This isn't just a building where visitors go. It's really part of the continuum of the tour. So in other words, visitors come to the visitor center. Usually they get their Bourbon passport stamped, and then they go on a tour. And so they wait inside the building for the tour. They get taken to buses to the actual distillery building that's up on Turkey Hill. And then they come back to the visitor center, and then the tour actually continues, and they go up to the overlook tasting room, and then they have their bourbon tasting. So the building is actually part of the continuum. It's part of the circulation that actually incorporates the entire distillery property, not just the visitor center itself. It was deliberately designed to be a building that transforms not just with the seasonal cycles, but throughout the course of the day. In the morning, it will appear completely opaque, but around noontime, the transparency starts to come into play. So the shimmering surfaces from the glass behind the latticework starts to come through. And then in the evening, when it's lit, you can see right through the building. And so there was this sense of discovery and delight as you move through the new visitor center. It's actually a very modestly built building. But we wanted to still have it be sustainable, and so we relied on those passive strategies, so things like site orientation. So you'll notice things like the building skin is really quite intricate, and at some points it becomes this lattice filigree that filters natural light, but still allows for views out into this very, very dramatic landscape. The view is interesting because it's overlooking, basically it's a Kentucky Palisades, and it's overlooking the Kentucky River, which is in fact the source water for the bourbon itself. We love working with smaller scale projects. There's an opportunity to really obsess about them. This project is really derived from just really common, ordinary things. And again, it talks about that kind of, the contrast. Again, something familiar becomes unfamiliar and new. Our lessons from this project still carry on into our projects today, and it's an ongoing learning experience. And so this project is kind of the hinge point of that.